Hey everyone, I am back and wanted to give you like a little update as to what's been going on since my very fun news of having my cancer come back. Oh boy! So anyway, I'm back on my meds, doing 8 pills a day, 4 times a day. So fun. So I get 2 and 2 and 2. It is so hard to remember to take them because if you try to take them too close together, you end up getting really sick and stuff. So I have to be very careful to make sure that I spread them out and just the right, at least 4 to 5 hours in between each one. So it's just, but I know in the end it will work because it worked before. So I just have to be consistent about it and make sure I keep taking them. And I'm confident that it'll work. But because I know the cancer came back, I'm seeing an endocrinologist. Unfortunately, it takes about 2 months to get in to see a really good one, and the one I found is like excellent. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to get in and see him before I had my surgery, which is on October the 2nd. So I'll be going in October 2nd for my DNC/hysteroscopy and biopsy and everything. So they'll do that on October 2nd. And the day I go in on the 17th in September to see the endocrinologist, I could sit down with him and have a conversation about what we think is going on. One of the things that I'm worried about now, and I've kind of been thinking this for years, but my test results always come back inconclusive, to say the least. I mean, they always say, oh, your test results came back fine, but the problem is I don't know how fine they really are because I have all the symptoms of what they call hypothyroidism. It's really difficult for me to lose weight. It's, I have some memory stuff, like sometimes I get my word recall. I'm like, wait a minute, what is that word? I know this word. And, all of my symptoms that I have with my hormone imbalances are all, hypothyroid symptoms. So I have to really have a doctor who knows what to look for, and maybe I am just slightly hypothyroid. But one of the things that I've noticed with friends of mine who have gone on, I think they call it Synthroid, which is like the medication they put you on if your thyroid's not working. The minute they go on it, they lose like so much weight. It's because it's like their body just didn't know what to do for the longest time. And I honestly think that that's, that would be like the first sign that this is what I needed, is if my weight starts coming off normally. Like, I'm not talking about 10 pounds a week, but I mean, like, if I started to lose weight without having to stress, I mean, literally for me to lose weight, I have to eat about 1,000 calories a day, or I have to exercise 4 to 5 hours a day and eat like maybe 15 to 1,600 calories a day. So I either have to eat a very low calorie diet with no carbohydrates, because carbs just, if I even eat carbs, I gain weight. So between those two things, and then having to, constantly exercise, like I really have to dig into exercise in order to, to lose any weight. And I exercise regularly. So, I'm a normal person. I get up and I walk, or I go, to the gym and I do my Zumba. I do those kinds of things, but the fact that I'm constantly having to kill myself to lose weight, that's not normal. And so I think that has to do with the fact that I'm pretty sure it's probably hypothyroidism. So we'll be looking into that in the next month. So I'll keep you updated as soon as I find out, what the doctor thinks, what testing wants to run. They do want to do a sonogram of my thyroid, which is different. I've never heard of that, but because no one's ever done it. So my uncle was telling us that, he had to have a biopsy of his thyroid. And I'm like, oh, I've had enough biopsies done. Let's not be biopsying anything else. I'm done with biopsy right now. Hopefully it does not come to that they can just take a look at it and say, maybe a little bit off of what you need, and maybe we should try some medication just to see what would help, and see if that really is something that's what's causing. I mean, we're talking 40 years here, people. No one's figured out what's wrong with me. There's a reason I'm overweight, and happened since I was like 4 years old. So there's got to be something, and I will lose weight. But when I lose weight, it's because I am exercising like a crazy person. So, and that's not normal. Nobody can keep that up. I mean, even professional athletes take breaks from, all the stuff that they do. And for me, if I took a break, that's it. The weight comes boom right back on. So it's not like something I can just say, oh, I'm not going to do that for, a month or two. I'm going to take a break. I can't take a break. The weight just comes right back. So that's where we are. Like I said, my surgery is in October. Hopefully, if everything comes back negative, and the nice thing is they send my results to Johns Hopkins, so Johns Hopkins will know right away whether or not my cancer is gone. We can go boom right back to Johns Hopkins, and they can pop my babies back in. I mean, I'll have to do a FET, what they call FET, a frozen embryo transfer. So they'll put me on medication to build my lining back up, because unfortunately, when you have a DNC, it takes everything out. So they have to rebuild, and that can take a couple of weeks, you know, to get my lining to come back and come back healthy. So they'll be giving me like a medication that will kind of boost my lining, bring everything back. And then once the lining's up to a certain point, then they can put the eggs back in. And trust me, our embryos. And we lucked out, we have 10 embryos. So we have 10 very healthy embryos that froze. They were what they call like a stage 4, because they hadn't started hatching yet. Stage 5 is hatching, and stage 6 is like beyond hatching. And then they give them like grade levels. And I don't know, like they do a like stage 4, but then they're like grade A or B or C or something. So mine haven't been graded yet because they're still they were getting frozen, but they're called expanded blastocysts. So that's the stage 4, and all 10 of them were at that stage, which is really good, because I had 5 that were just stage 1, and they didn't freeze those because they were like, you know, the chances of a stage 1 making it is just not very good, so they didn't freeze those, which is fine. 10 is good. 10 babies, hey, that's 10 babies potentially in a little petri dish somewhere waiting for us to be ready, so we're good with that. I'm getting ready to head out to California. I'm a little nervous. There's a couple of things. I don't usually travel by myself. I've gone a few times places by myself, and it doesn't always work out well for me, but this is my first time like traveling, especially to California. But my cousins live out there. You know, I'm my cousin and then my husband's 2 cousins both live out there in LA, and so we're gonna I get to hang with them a little bit, which will be fun, and I get to see their kids and stuff, so that'll be nice. My reason for going, as I've told you guys before, is I'm attending like this celebrity basketball game to meet my favorite celebrity, and I don't know what's gonna happen. It'll be interesting to see if he has any clue who I am. Although we've been making this joke right now because he just posted a blog like yesterday or the day before, and he's sitting on his deck with the same backdrop as mine. Like, you stealing my exterior shot, dude? Seriously? Like, come on now, this is my blog. You need to get your own stuff. So I always have to like tease, and I said, well, maybe that's a sign. Maybe he's sending me like a signal like, I'm watching. I wish, right? But I mean, it's no, you never know. It could potentially be that way. But there's a bunch of girls on Tumblr who are going, and a couple of them were like, why are you like saying that nobody invited you to do anything? And I said, because nobody invited me to do anything. And they were like, well, maybe we just don't know who you are or that you're going. And the reason why I haven't really been bragging about it on my site is because a lot of my friends aren't going. They live overseas, or they just don't have the money to go. And I was that person last year. I didn't want to hear about everybody going, so I certainly wasn't going to rub it into the girls that were, you know, that are my followers. I don't think it's fair to tease in a way, say, haha, I'm going and you're not. And there are girls on Tumblr that are, there's one or two that are kind of really being obnoxious almost about it, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to the people who follow me. I want to be supportive and, you know, not be that person that's always like, hee hee hee. No, it took me 2 years to save up enough money to go to this thing, and I did it because I have cancer and I just need to be my YOLO. You know, you only live once, so that's my YOLO, and getting to meet him is my cancer wish, you know, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going, and I'm taking my cancer shirt, and my husband, I was joking, I said, well, I want to get him to sign my cancer shirt. My husband's like, oh no, you need to get him to sign that shirt that says, if I die today, tell Josh Hutcherson I loved him, or something like that. And I'm like, you want me to get him to sign that shirt? And he's like, yeah, you totally need to get him. And I was like, are you my husband? Like, you're so weird. Like, why would you want him to sign that shirt? But he's like, it would be so funny. You just need to do it. I'm like, yeah. The cancer shirt makes sense. That shirt just looks creepy. Like, I don't know. Do I want to come off creepy? But I don't think so. So, a lot of the girls that are going to the game from Tumblr are like women my age. Some of them are women who are married, just like me. So I kind of feel so bad this year going and, you know, getting to meet people that are a little closer to me in age and you know, like same stage in life. Some of them have kids, which is kind of crazy because unfortunately, just because of our age, of course, we don't have kids yet, but that doesn't mean that we don't get it or understand, you know, wanting to have children and having a family. But I'm kind of excited to meet some of the girls on Tumblr and all. The one negative is that, you know, I guess it's just going to be like everything else. You know, you walk in, my husband's like, you're going to shake his hand, you're going to have him sign a picture, take a picture with him and be done. You know, it's not like you're going to really get to know him or anything. And I said, I know, it's just, if he recognizes me, that is it for me. That's all I need, is for him to say, I do know who you are, and I do watch your vlogs, and I do, you know, care about everything you're going through, and, you know, I follow your story. And that would be enough for me, because it means that he does somehow care about everything that's going on. So, you know, that's kind of it. That's the only reason why, you know, I kind of feel, and Kevin's worried that, you know, I'm going to come back and be like, he didn't know who I was, you know, and that's always a possibility, and I'm okay with that, because it could happen, and, you know, if it happens, it happens. If he doesn't have a clue who I am, then, you know, that's just the way it is sometimes. But I still got to meet him, and that was fine, you know. It's kind of a neat thing to get to do, but, you know, we'll see. So that's kind of my week, and my next vlog is going to be from LA. So hopefully I'll be able to share like all my videos. I gotta wipe all my memory cards clean, so I have plenty of memory to take videos of everything and try and get as much. Hopefully they won't say anything about bringing my stuff in, because everybody else had cameras last year, so I can't imagine why they wouldn't let me bring cameras in. But we'll see. Have a great week, and like I said, next week it'll be from LA. I'm going out to Cali. No, I'm sorry. Dating myself on that one. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. That'll be crazy, crazy, crazy. Have a good one.